Evening, people. Morning. I know it's morning for Tim. He's got his cup of tea. I got my beers ready to go. 1999 World Cup Final. How's everybody doing? Is everybody well? Well rested? Enjoying whatever it is you're enjoying? Lockdown? Classic rugby? Cups of tea? Beers? Sam, good to see you, man. You'll be pleased to see Sam. Chiller bag. The bag has been in the freezer, and the beer has been in the fridge. So nice and cold. Saturday's been pretty good. Yeah. Hung out with the kids. It was a bit wet, but we went for a walk. Man, it sounds tragic, doesn't it? What did we get up to? I built some Lego with my boy. Yeah. Happy days, man. Family time. Tama remembers this one. Wow. How many of you guys have actually seen this one? I don't think I've ever seen this game in full. Matthew, how's it going, buddy? Jonathan, it is going good, man. Hope it's well over there as well. In the morning, I'm assuming. Footy on, beers cold, life is not too bad. Exactly right. I have been looking forward to this stream for much of the day. Because, yes, basically, I mean, that's just kind of the story of lockdown, isn't it? It's hanging out with the kids, trying to do a bit of work from home, but Saturday, so, yeah, keeping the kids happy, keeping the wife happy. Did some vacuuming. There you go. I was productive. Hey, Nathan, good to see you. Tim decorated the whole house. Come on, man. Isaac, another great classic game. Yeah, man, I haven't seen it. I don't think I've seen it. Alaran, how's it going? Tim hasn't seen it. Fair enough. Mark is here. Man, great game, Mark says. Mark, on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a stream, although you may not want to see it, Argentina-Ireland from 2015. That's on at an hour, which is maybe a bit more suitable for your time zone. Matthew did some goal kicking today, 30 kicks, 8 over. Not too bad. Not too bad. I had a practice the other day, and it took me 5 or 6 goes to get 1 over from straight in front from 22 meters. Rugby opinion, hi, buddy. How's it going? Alaran's only ever seen the highlights. Alaran, would you rather me say Alaran or Mark? I'll leave that up to you. Thomas says, yeah, bro, this was a good Rugby World Cup, best Aussie team thus far. I've had a look at the team, and there's certainly some big names in that Aussie team for sure. 5 a.m. here in the US. Yeah, that's pretty early. So for you guys in the Americas, I'll do an early morning one my time, so I'll be on the coffee. If you guys want to crack open a beer on Wednesday morning, depending on if you got work. No, Wednesday evening for you, sorry. Yeah, Argentina, Ireland. Almost 2 a.m. mark. Yeah, so Wednesday should work better for your sleep, I think. I've been doing 9 o'clock New Zealand time because it works best with my children. But I figure if I do early one, that also works if they're still in bed. So we'll see how that goes. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Mark, yeah, I know it's that game. The time is good. It's just Ireland's result is probably not the best one. Drinking hour for you guys, it will be. Yep, for me, it'll be pretty early morning, but it'll be a bit of fun. Ethan, how's it going? I've been looking forward to this stream. Yeah, man, me as well. I have been looking forward to this one for the majority of the day. As I mentioned, I've got cold beer. Game is ready to go. I was at that game in 2015. OMV Argentina, still heartbroken, and it's 5 years. Okay, maybe even if the time zone is good, maybe you can skip it. Because I know from watching the 95 final, the 99 semi-final, time doesn't necessarily heal all those wounds. That can still be pretty raw. And if you were there, it's even worse. 11 a.m. in South Africa. Oh, nice. Nice. Decent morning then. Not too early, not too late. Did you know 99 there were 5 pools in each? I did not know. Man, you're good with your history, Matthew. Did you get a bottle of Villa Marie during your shopping today? No. I did look the last time I was at, but the wine section was pretty busy, so I only had a very quick look, but it is on my list. I've got it written down somewhere on my actual shopping list. Quarterfinals, one of the best you've seen. Yeah, I think World Rugby is actually going to play that game tomorrow, so I may end up using their footage because it'll probably be better. As a French, it's easier to watch this one than the 2011 one. No one forgives you, Bear. Yeah, I haven't seen this one, so I'm hoping it's a legit Aussie win rather than anything controversial. I don't remember anything about it. 5 p.m. there, perfect timing. Good. I think 9 p.m. generally works for everyone but America. It's not too early in Europe. It's not too early in South Africa. It's not too late in New Zealand, Australia. But yeah, for the Americas, it's kind of the middle of the night. Ethan, I'm going well, buddy. If you guys want to get the stream I'm going to be watching, it is, I've put it in the description, but here it is just in case. Remember when the ABs played this Aussie team next? It was considered the greatest game of rugby ever played. True enough. We watched that one. Can't wait to see the chat feed when everyone has been drinking. Yeah, it might be a bit different. World Cup was always good. Commentary in Argentina said the Irish forward pack did not have a Munster player for the first time in 40-odd years. Is that right? Madness. Did you know that Australia put 142 on Namibia at the 2003 World Cup? I have heard that stat somewhere before when they always talk about some of the biggest one-sided games in World Rugby. Right, let's get started, people. It's 9:02 here in New Zealand, so click on the stream if you want to watch the game alongside. I've got you guys on the laptop and the TV is ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. I remember from watching the 99 semi-final the other day, they don't put score on the screen regularly, so I'll try and track it on the whiteboard. Will I collaborate? I've been asked by a few people to do collaborations recently. I've been pretty time poor with the lockdown, to be honest, because if anything, I'm busier with my work still going full time, and my kids being home. Like usually when I go to work, I don't have to look after my kids, but yeah, we'll see how my schedule looks. What position do I play? I play on the armchair recently. Flashing, good morning, Mr. Rugby fan. How's it going? We've just kicked off the 99 final. France against Australia from Cardiff. Andre Watson. Yeah, that guy was a referee for a very, very long time. We always had a feeling of being robbed, but this one, Australia deserve it 100%. Okay. Well, I kind of felt that way in the last game I watched, which was the French beating the All Blacks before this game. Like, nobody in New Zealand ever complains about losing that 99 game, and now I can understand why, because the French deserve that one 100%. Started watching and enjoying under-20 internationals. Jeez, that was quick. Let me up a shot of goal. Or is this a twisty? Did that skip or was that just me? I'm sure this is the full game. Maybe they missed a little bit. It's France 3-0 anyway. Yeah, under 20s games is one that I don't really get to see, but I should. Sevens, women's games. Ever considered to watch the Brumbies Chiefs 2013? Yes, I'll get to it, man. Been looking for some Super Rugby games. Should get the South African lady that did the World Cup blogs. Alma. Yeah, she's been doing something with John de Villiers and Skulk Brits, I think. Crappy quality once again. It's 1999. I think this just was the quality. Right. Damn, this game is moving at a million miles an hour. We got 6 points within how many minutes? Big Will, how's it going, man? I've literally just opened this, but the game says 4 minutes. This must be missing a few segments, but this game's been going at a million miles an hour, so I haven't even had time to take a drink. Good to see you, bud. I thought it was Ireland, Argentina today. That's Wednesday. Jeez, the Aussies are looking dangerous already. Seems like a jump happened in the vid. Hey, Harry. Yeah, I think so as well. But if it's an hour and 21 minutes, that should be most of the game. This happened with the 87 game as well. It did kind of skip little bits of it. Morning, Heinrich. How's it going? And I have the scoreboard, yes, because 999, they didn't do persistent scores on the screen. Bit of handbags in this one. It's 3 apiece after a very abrupt 5 minutes. Have the Blues won a Super Rugby competition? They did a long, long time ago. Andre Watson's already having words with the captains about the old handbags. That was pretty cool. Great vids. She knows the rugby exactly right. Got married in 99. An air hostess you met in Ibiza? Is that a joke? That can't be real. This is the quickest stream of 2020. Yeah, this is apparently not quite the full game because there's been a few moments kind of chopped out. Time to look out for the smokers during the game. That's a good point. Ooh. They've missed a penalty, have the Australians. Yeah, I am at 6:15 by this point on the YouTube one. Hi from Timaru. Nice. Timaru's had somebody with COVID walking around the supermarket from what I read in the news today. Elma doing her videos with Brits and De Villiers is amazing. Yeah, they played Twister, which is not a game for guys with those at those stages in their careers, moving into punditry and injuries and whatnot, don't need to be playing Twister. You're gonna have to take the Argentina stream shirt off. Yeah. Next time. I'll be a bit bleary-eyed because I'm planning that one pretty early in the morning, but at least it'll be in HD. Elma used to be my girlfriend's housemate. Are you serious? Larkham puts boot to ball. Oof. Oh, man, the French fullback's just slipped over. These are the times when Australian rugby was half decent. Half decent? Man, you're a hard man to please, Big Will. They were pretty good. Beaumont said there might not be any test rugby this year. You are correct. I read the same thing. Just have to wait and see. It's really a waiting game, eh? Nobody really knows. Man, Eels with the yellow card, which from the other stream on Wednesday, Alaran quite correctly pointed out, a yellow card in 99 is just a caution. It's not 10 minutes in the bin. Do you remember this game live? No. I don't think I would have watched it. 99, how old have I been? Really? How old was I in 1999? France are going back in front. 6 points to 3. They didn't write how many minutes. 99. How old was I? From like 15? I don't think I really was too fussed about watching this final. I think I may have actually been going through a rugby league phase, either this age or a little bit before. I went through a little bit of a rugby league phase. Hey from Ireland. Hey, man, how's it going? Do you feel boring that every World Cup was almost the same squad in the semi? It would be nice to see more variation, for sure. It's generally the same old players, although some of you guys will know better than me. How does it usually go with the football? Like, football's usually a bit more competitive. There's more parity, but it's generally still the same players for the most part, although the last final had, like, was it Croatia? I'm not a big football guy anymore. Golden age of Aussie rugby. Yeah, Elma's like a social media pundit. I think she's a reporter as well, a journalist. She did all the World Cup posts for Horn. For World Rugby, anyway. How many forwards, past or present, have taken penalty kicks regularly? John Eales is the only one that comes to mind. I know Zinzan Brook used to slot the old drop goal, but I never saw him kick a penalty. 2 Cents having more streams than videos on his account. I'm home more, man. And it's been 2 streams a week recently, which is not too bad. Saturday and Wednesday. Made my own board game because I can't play rugby video games. Whatever keeps you active. Play some coin rugby. Australia have just kicked a penalty. And it's apparently almost 15 minutes. No tries as yet. Who's appointed as Aussie head coach? Dave Rennie. Took you so long to figure out your age. I'm surprised you got 3 plus 3. I'm getting old, man. I was like, no, I was still young. And then I worked it out and I was like, wait a minute. No, that's not that young. So would you be happy if Pichot gets the job? I haven't read everything that he's proposing. I mean, the high level, very vague stuff about growing the game, I think is probably a good thing. but some people say he's also one of the guys who's quite keen on getting like as much of the game behind big paywalls as possible. Like I know the Six Nations is free to air, and he's kind of not a big free to air guy. He's more of a get the most money in guy, which is maybe not the best thing for the game. So yeah, what I know about both of them is pretty sparse. France with the cross kick. Knock on. Dangerous from the French. Hi from Poland. I was at Twickenham for New Zealand, France. Semi as an All Black fan, we left the stadium in shock. Yeah, I can understand it, man. The All Blacks were huge favourites for that one. From Poland, and you're into your rugby. Good man. Matt Burke, Mortlock, Regan, Larkham, Roth. Dangerous team. You are not kidding, man. Johnny Eels. Elm was on a breakfast show, Jacaranda radio station, and a reporter thingy at Supersport as well. Right, so she does a fair bit of the old journalism stuff. But like someone else, Chris said she knows her rugby. Football World Cups, it always varies. Last World Cup had France, Belgium, Croatia, and England. Okay. But traditionally, isn't it always like Brazil, Netherlands, Germany, France, Italy? It's probably a bigger handful, but for the most part, it's a handful. I feel like the last World Cup was more of an exception. Indigenous shirt is definitely a good one. Kia ora, history fan. If you wanted to tune into this one, we are at 1450. True story, got divorced a year later and married to your lovely wife, have 3 children. Right, so the Ibiza thing didn't work out. Hindsight is 2020, but an Ibiza quick marriage maybe doesn't seem the most securest of options in terms of marriage, but I guess we're all young once. I've not been to Ibiza, so I got no idea. I just know of it. Australia could have won the 99 and 2003 World Cups. That's true. 2003, they came pretty close. Made a final in 2015, so they've been all right. Work with a lot of Polish lads, nearly all of them. Any of them into their rugby? Or still football? I was at that game, epic day out. Bit of an anti-climax after the France-New Zealand semi. You mean you're at this game? Far out. I've never been to a World Cup final, that is for sure. The pitch is also starting to cut up a little bit. Hello, La Poule. Advantage of not reading comments. You're a beer in. All right. I will speed things up. I brought 2 beers today, so I'll speed things up a little bit. I'm behind. Not the Tui tonight. Take to rugby when they watch it. Okay, nice. Harry, man, a beer or 2 is all right. Plus, it's the evening. If this was the 6 a.m. stream, then maybe you could say I got a problem. I was young doing stupid stuff. We've all been there, Tim. All been there. Wow, some of these guys in the stream probably haven't been there yet, but they will be there. Everyone's young and dumb at some point. Samuel, good evening, sir. I think the All Blacks will go to Australia. The Warriors League team's apparently going to go to Australia. Maybe. Had Australia not turned down 9 points in the 03 final, they would have won that year too. Oh, man, I did watch that game. I've got clearer memories of that game than this game for sure, because I don't think I ever watched this one live, but I don't remember the details. How's the family? Yeah, man, we're good. We're good. Mostly just hanging out with the kids. Plus, my folks are here as well, so it's kind of good. We get to rotate things up a bit. So, yeah, it's all right. Working from home is kind of a pain in the butt when the kids are disruptive, but we rotate a bit. Beers look cold for once. Maybe it's just the bottle. I don't know. But chicken, I kept this in the. Sorry, nice food. You and chicken got both food-related names. I put this in the fridge like 8 hours ago, so it should be about as cold as it can get from the fridge. I think 2 beers each half is about right. I'm a lightweight. Plus, I got to go to bed after this, and I don't want to be getting up to go to the bathroom. Rocking the Wallabies strip. Well, hey Ribsy, how's it going, man? I think this one might be a good night for the Wallabies somehow. It's been a pretty ref. Well, Andre Watson has been busy, put it that way. One thing about FIFA World Cup is it always features European and South American teams in the semi-finals, but the teams vary each World Cup. Okay. Rugby World Cups, maybe not that much variety. I'm so sick of being in my house. Yeah, we still go for walks around the block, which is all right. Man, someone's just, had a, is that Manye? Has had his nose all strapped up. Yeah, we go for walks around the block, but we can't do a heck of a lot. You should get your old man on the stream one night. He has recorded a video. He's recorded his All Blacks team of like all time, his favorite All Blacks team. So, I just need to edit it a bit because I want to try and at least put player pictures in the video or something. But the old man has done a video. Too many lockdown beers last night. Feel sorry for the South African guys. They're apparently not even allowed to get the old lockdown beers. Australia have kicked another penalty. And they are in front. The commentator just said French indiscipline is costing them dear. I feel like that may be the story of this game. I must be an alcoholic. I'll have 4 beers per half. Oh, damn. Those days are long behind me. Ugly game so far. Yeah, it's been pretty busy with the old whistle. Been a couple of almost moments, but I guess it's a final, so it's tight. 32 teams and FIFA World Cups. There's just more depth in football, hey? 4 beers per half, that's the way to do it. Man, you guys. If you can get through 4 beers while hosting a stream, I'll be impressed. 5 different winners for football at 9 World Cups, 4 different at 9 World Cups for rugby. 5 different winners for football and 4 different. That doesn't seem that different. Maybe it's just the teams who compete in the semis is a bit different. You're lucky if you can go for a walk on the block. We aren't allowed to go for a walk on the block, only if it's to the shop. We can go for a walk, but not far from home. If you go too far, you get in trouble. Heard that at the time, there were rumors that the French would play dirty. The French? That was always the thing when I was growing up. My dad would always go on about the French being dirty. I don't know if that was a thing. And the South Africans. Those were the two teams of choice that everyone would say were dirty. I'm sure some other countries said the Kiwis were always dirty. We had some dirty players, I know that. So I'm not sure. Who are the other countries that everyone says is dirty? French ill discipline. Who would have thought? There you go. Four waters a half for Harry. Yeah, stick to the water. It's good for you. Two beers rugby. That's pretty appropriate, isn't it? Two beers. Is it just me, or is there a lot more box kicking in the game these days? When did that really start? Like nowadays, a scrum half who can't box kick's almost not part of the game. The Rebels have got a big South African-born scrum half who's got guns, but he doesn't really box kick, and he gets criticised for it. How many World Cup finals have France been in? 87, this one, and 2011, I think. Yeah, Bucky's brought a bit of a reputation. Yeah, he's definitely one of the guys. Somehow I still admire that guy, though. Even though he could be pretty brutal. Oh, the Aussies with the offload. They've actually got some quick ball. And that has been slowed right down now. Oh, almost an intercept for the French. Warm beers rugby. Come on, man. I got the cool bag. Look. That's been in the freezer. More box kicking, but less drop goals. I think that's a fair point, too. I quite like that Aussie jersey in this final, actually. Well, South Africa had some dirty players. They were very good as well, like Buckies and Bismarck. He's missed it. 6 points. Australia missed with the boot. 2023 World Cup most likely be in France. Be interesting to see where France are at in 2023. Australia could have won 99 and 2003. This is true. $0.02 beer. I wish the beers were 2 cents. Well, maybe I don't. I would question the quality if it was 2 cents, to be honest. Yellow, no chance for that interception. I was actually thinking that when it happened. I was thinking, ooh, in the modern game, that's maybe a yellow. But another one of those things that's changed. Interesting, the commentator keeps calling him Horan instead of Horan. Turnover. Man, I got the cool bag rugby. Yeah. Any guess why I've got a cool bag? Why did we buy a cool bag initially? Wasn't for my beers, that's for sure. Bucky's bought is now distributing food to the poor. Wow, that's amazing. South Africa have a scrummy that's not scared of anything. Faf does throw his weight around. Not that there's much of it, but you wouldn't know it. when you see him play. Bucky's was dirty, but he was good. I agree. Couldn't help but admire the man, even if you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him. When they get quick ball, the Aussies actually look pretty dangerous in this one. Ooh, turned over again. High and loose the scrums are, for sure. Some of the tackling is pretty high and loose as well. Some of them end up around the head, which would at least be penalised nowadays. The scrums take longer to set, though, than 87 or 91. Comparatively quick, but also comparatively slow. Burke with the chip and chase. Not a very good one. France got it back. Juices are big and loose. Yeah, they did start to change. Was it around just before 2005 Lions Tour, or was it after that? But I've mentioned before, the technology when they first started making the tight jerseys was terrible. You used to get multiple jersey rips every game. Became pretty farcical, really. Some of the wingers these days are bigger than the forwards back then. You ain't wrong. Guys have gotten bigger. The game's gotten slower. But it's got more accurate, I think. They just train more, get paid more. Horan with a pretty terrible attempt at a tackle. New Zealand has never forgiven Cooper for hitting Richie, but they've forgotten Bucky's headbutting. I think it was also Richie. I don't know what it is about Quade Cooper. I think maybe because he was born in New Zealand, he's kind of seen as a traitor. I don't know. It's probably a multitude of things. Did Larkham knock that into touch with his hands? I want to see a replay of that. Here we go. Maybe. England changed the jerseys to tight ones around 2003. Okay, that makes sense. That's when they started ripping. Best Rugby World Cup Final? I like the 2015 one, but I'm biased because New Zealand won that one. But it wasn't a real one-sided game. It also wasn't like a boring game. There were good tries. New Zealand went out to a lead. Ben Smith gets yellow carded. The Wallabies really flood back, make us in two minds, and then New Zealand seal it pretty late. I thought it was a good game. England 2003 had fitted shirts. Fair enough. I went to a Reds versus Blues game a few years back, and his own Reds fans would boo him. Really? There is something a bit unlikable about that guy, hey? There was a YouTube video on the jerseys changing from loose to tight. No way. That's pretty specific. Latham versus Burke. That is a tough choice. Pick between Beaumont and Pichot. Again, yeah, I'm not sure, man. I've heard good and bad things about Pichot. Pichot did tweet me, so maybe I go Pichot just because he tweeted me. Even as an Aussie, the 2015 final sticks up. Yeah, I think so. I was like texting my Aussie mate during that whole final, and he stopped. He stopped replying for a while, but when the Aussies were coming back, he started texting me back, and then kind of went quiet again. Favorite's 2011, man. I don't know if 2011 holds up. It was tight. You give it that. It doesn't get much tighter. I remember it being stressful. I'm not sure what that one's like for neutrals to watch. 8 points to 7. England were the first ones to have the skin tight jerseys. Pretty inventive. French got the reputation after that game in the 80s where Buck got his, the old rip and the. Damn, okay, I don't know that's where that came from, but that makes a lot of sense. That's where Buck got his reputation as well, to be fair. Favorite was 2019. Not surprised, Chris. Colby and Mapimpi, some pretty sweet stuff in that final. My son-in-law loves Cooper. He's half Welsh, half Irish. Not sure if that's a thing. Okay. Each to their own, man. I'm sure there's a fair few people out there who admire him as well. Just not many Kiwis would admit it. Haven't seen much of Intermac in this game, hey? Oh, man, the French down the right wing. Not enough space. If I ever do YouTube merch, you'll be the first to buy. I don't know what I would sell. "2015 is one of your favorite finals. I have seen it so many times, still love watching it. I reckon it holds up, but again, I'm a Kiwi, so I'm bound to enjoy that one. It's just like finals you expect to be tight and neither team wants to lose. Like 8 points to 7 seems like a stereotypical final. The 95 one, no tries. 2007, no tries. But 2015 just seemed like a proper cracking game. But again, I could be biased. Cooper's a bit mercurial. He had a rough childhood. Yeah, you're not wrong. I think there's a kind of attitude here in New Zealand that he's a guy who loves the spotlight. He loves himself, is what my old man would say. And we do not like people like that. Even though somehow Carlos Spencer manages to pull it off. Quade Cooper, we can't stand it. Cooper was a show pony, never contributed to the success in Wallabies jersey. He certainly got the attention, if nothing else. Favorite was 2019, maybe because you're a Box fan, partly because the Poms got destroyed by the Box. That final also had some pretty bloody good moments as well, didn't it? That Mapimpi try, the Colby try, yeah. Sell 2 cents beer. I have thought about doing some of the old homebrew, eh? Not sure to be like up to health and safety standards. Those regulations are pretty strict. Well, I think right now homebrew would be a really good hobby to have. Actually, my dad's brother, my uncle, who's now passed away, but he used to be real into his homebrew. Shirts and beer. There you go. All right, Harry, you take care, bud. Nathan Sharp tells a story of how Cooper, Beale, O'Connor brought negativity for the Wallabies. Idiotic behaviour apparently came close to clocking Cooper and O'Connor for being knobs. Yeah. Wasn't it O'Connor that seemed to be a bit of a stirrer? I seem to remember there being stories about like Beale getting into trouble when he was with O'Connor, and Cooper getting into trouble when he was with O'Connor. Another Aussie penalty, by the way. He seemed to be like the common denominator. Columbus Reinach against Canada was amazing. He was. Didn't he get a hat trick? Seemed very self-congratulatory. Yeah. Yeah, that stuff doesn't really fly very well down here. Even though he was born in like Poirua, I think, or something. French fullbacks just knocked it on into touch, giving the Aussies another chance. Stubby holders. You guys are full of suggestions. It's okay. You're a health and safety manager. Oh, damn. Right. Half time. That was quick. My stream is up to 39 minutes and we're already into the second half. Hi from Sweden. Jason, your country's been in the news a lot over here, man. Hope everything's all good. O'Connor is good these days. He grew up. I agree. He seems to have maybe gotten too much progress in his career too fast, and maybe that went to his head, and he would be far from the first guy that's happened to. Ronak got the quickest hat trick. Yes. Jock was a cocaine kid while with the Force. Oh, that's unfortunate. But again, fame and coin too quickly for someone too young. Man, if I was rich as a 18-year-old, I would have done dumb stuff, I'm sure. I don't know if I would have done cocaine, but who knows, man? You hang out with the wrong crowd, stuff happens. That hairstyle from the French fullback, that came up in the last stream I did, the semi-final, and yeah, very 90s. Very 90s. France are having a shot from halfway, almost. 47 meters. Just wide. Not too far away. Had the legs. Watched the 2015 final with my Kiwi mate in a pub. Surprising how most of the neutrals here always want the ABs to win, or is they don't like the Aussies. Maybe a combination of both. I feel like a lot of people's second team is the All Blacks, but I could be mistaken. Right, one beer down. I am just nursing these things, aren't I? Amen to the 2 cents stubby holder. It's still cold, all right? Still cold. People are very concerned about my beers being warm. Cheers, guys. We still haven't had a try yet, but I feel like one's coming. I think O'Connor has only been allowed back in team last year. Eels or someone will be told the coaching staff that he has changed and deserved a place. Just the interviews, he seems like almost like a born-again, I don't know, a Christian guy or something. Like he just seems really zen or like in touch with the next level of thinking compared to what he used to be. Ronak is not the smallest scrummy, indeed. O'Connor did start playing professionally at 17. Yeah, he was like the youngest Wallaby for a while. Like the Wallabies guys have to carry around that little Wallaby, right? Does he have a name? But yeah, O'Connor was doing it for ages because he was always the youngest guy. He was just picked so young. O'Connor's definitely a better player these days. His time overseas helped him. Interesting how time overseas seems to help some guys grow up. Aussies are on attack. Oh, but the referee's blowing the whistle again. Harry was my 19th subscriber. That's impressive, man. That's a long time ago. Another Aussie penalty makes it 15 points to 6. It seems most of what's being cut out is the guys preparing for kicks. So I guess we're not missing too much. Who has the biggest boot in world rugby? Don't know. Probably still Franz Steyn, right? Geordie Barrett's kick 70 meters. Yeah, that's true. He's got a pretty big boot as well. Never understood why you would have a second team. Makes the games more interesting if you're invested in it, I find. A lot of recent posts on Instagram about his spiritual journey and redemption from his old life of excess. That's cool. Like, he really spoke, like, really deep. It was quite surprising. I was almost concerned it was fake, but it seems all right. He seems legit. I was at the 2015 final. It was a good game, but I never really thought New Zealand were in any danger, even when I scored the 2 tries when Ben Smith was off. It was like they were almost in danger, eh? Like the momentum was with the Aussies, and one more score, and it's fully game on. Maison's just missed the drop goal. Second team is the All Blacks. Don't mind when South Africa lose to them. Get over it fairly quickly compared to other teams. I don't know why. Why is the All Blacks people's second team often? Is it because they play entertaining? Is it because the haka? Is it because they're good and everyone likes to support a winner? What's the reason? South Africa, my second team, can't stand the Poms, even more the Aussies. People seem to dislike England and Australia. That's a common theme I've picked up on as well. The 2 jerseys people give me grief for wearing is this one and the England one. Colby's time overseas has definitely helped a lot. For sure, Faf de Klerk overseas has improved a lot. Some guys, the time overseas really improves them. Whereas the New Zealand guys, if you go overseas, you've pretty much kissed your All Blacks career goodbye. Very few of them come back and make the team. I kind of did it, but not many. I was quite miffed that Big Franz didn't go for a 60-meter droppy in the final, or 70. Ireland's my second team, as my granddad was Irish. That's cool. There's a connection. Like my family name, my surname is Welsh, so I feel like a connection with the Welsh guys, to be fair. 2003, the Chiefs only racked up 3 wins compared with the Blues' 10 of 11 wins. Blues won the title against Crusaders. Things have changed since then. Everyone has a second team that they support or like. I think so. Homebrew and homemade spuds. Man, now France is hot on the attack, but they can't do it. Another penalty. Wallabies jersey is my favorite. Wallabies jersey, the indigenous one. Yeah, man, it's pretty slick. I think I preferred this one to the one they wore to the World Cup. Another penalty. It is just tit for tat, is what the commentators have said. French have a different 11 for this game? Oh, you might be right, man. Dominici's on one wing. I'm not sure about the other. No, not the Welsh, says Tim. Sorry, man. What can you do? We hate Oz in any sport because they beat us in everything but rugby. This is true. League, cricket, they beat us in most. Big Will's right about second team for sure. Didn't France come on immediately after Pollard missed that long range pen? I remember being frustrated with that, sure enough. We watch a lot of old games and enjoy Wallabies, ABs almost as much as box games. I do like the Aussie Kiwi rivalry. I just wish it was a bit closer. And that's not like disrespectful. I legit wish it was closer these days, but it's just not. I guess it's one of those ones where you be careful what you wish for, because I remember back when they used to have the Bledisloe Cup, I was incredibly frustrated that the All Blacks couldn't consistently beat them. But, yeah. Happening with Dan Carter. Seems like he might be leaving Japan. Yeah, I think he put out something on social media to say that he's leaving. Makes sense because the top league season's been called off, so there's no point staying. He's like 38. Probably time to hang up the boots. Oh man, Roth was so close. Man, that's the best moment of the game. That'd be TMO these days. The French wing is Bernard Say. I think he played in the last game. Pretty sure. Thanks for doing the streams. Man, I enjoy the streams. I hope your parents are cool with you staying up till 10 o'clock. Oh, man. Horns chip through. Not quite. Mean as. Man, haven't seen you for a while. Game with noughts and crosses. You go top right. I'm not going in the middle. Rewatching the third Lions game from 2017, I definitely think that Alan Wynne Jones is one of, if not the hardest working men in modern rugby. Yep. That guy's got a hell of a reputation for good reason. Been some that Dunedin one. Also remember they usually beat the All Blacks once a year. Yeah, the Dunedin game was so close, eh? And they gave us a bit of a walloping last year. We've had the Bledisloe so long. It must be kind of disheartening. I remember it when we didn't have it, thinking I was longing for it. Why can't the All Blacks get the Bledisloe? It seemed like a void. But it doesn't seem likely that the Aussies are going to get it anytime soon. 18-9, still no tries. Your brother looks like Dan Carter. Wow, that's crazy. I'll support the Wallabies if they're not playing any of the teams that you support. That's fair. Anzac thing, that seems to be lost. How much longer do you think Dwayne Vermeulen has left in him? Oh, true. Dwayne Vermeulen's getting on. How old is Vermeulen anyway? Who might replace him as number 8? That's a good question. Maybe there's two guys who were having really good seasons for the Stormers and the Sharks. My brain's not in Super Rugby mode at all. Augustus and who's the other fella? The one who moved from the Stormers to the Sharks. What's his name? DC is finished with Japan. He told me himself. I did see Dan Cutter at the airport once. Didn't say hello. 11 was a short guy, scored the bounce ball try. I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. I'm a fan of the Scotland jersey, like the tartan on it. I like the tartan as well, but some people don't find it appealing. I think it would be a massive confidence blow for any modern AB side to give up the Bledisloe. They've pretty much said in the past that they would rather lose the Rugby Championship than lose the Bledisloe. World Cup, Bledisloe. That seems to be, that's the pecking order of trophies for the All Blacks. France are lining up another penalty. Just FYI, if you are still watching the game. And he's nailed it. All my notes are pretty much just penalty, 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 penalty. Plus the odd missed try. Or like good chance. $18 points to 12. Vermeulen's 38? Is he really? Oh my lord. Yeah, Big Wolves are Blues, man. For better or worse. Notch, there you go. Sikambuza Notch has been in top form. Augustus has been in top form. That's if you go someone fresh. Might be someone else looking out there that Rassie's got his eyes on. Sculprits. It'd be like Rassie to do that kind of thing, man. He'll pull something out of the hat. Good to have you here, Harry, man. As long as your parents don't get mad that you're up watching the live stream at 10 o'clock, good by me. Dan Dupree is good. He's abroad, so it's a possibility, but Rassie doesn't seem to like the Dupree brothers, huh? Camille says he wants to try and play the Lions next year. I reckon he'll stay to the next World Cup. Yeah. He could definitely play Lions for sure. Next World Cup? Maybe. How old was Richie when he played in 2015? He was getting on, like 37? Bowden said after their birth, Perth Bledisloe, that they didn't want to be the first AB side in years to lose the Bledisloe. Well, a lot of those guys, or at least some of them, would have been the first team to lose to Ireland. Nobody wants to be the first team to do any of that stuff. So, yeah, the Bledisloe would be a pretty bad one. My mate hates Super Rugby, only supports Hawke's Bay. Some people are like that. That's true. My dad's best rugby mate will not watch Super Rugby. He goes to club rugby and he watches the Mitre 10 Cup, but he will not watch Super Rugby because he thinks it's kind of fake. People don't play for the teams like for where they're from. There's no connection between the club and the Super franchise. So, yeah, it's a bit too commercial for him. Also watching The Fugitive. Man, that movie's old. Richie was 34? Was he only 34? I could have sworn he was older. And, yes, Sam, Big Wills and Brizzy. Willem Alberts is planning on coming home. The bus is old, though. He was playing a bit of Super Rugby, but I don't think he was quite the monster he used to be. How old is Alan Wynn? He's getting on as well, but he's still got lots of gas in the tank. Man, another Aussie penalty. The Aussies are choking the French out of this one. How many minutes have we gone? Brad Thorne says age is just a number. Tim's going to top up his tea. Good man. Super Rugby has gotten old. I do kind of agree. On the one hand, I think it's getting a bit stale. On the other hand, I think they keep trying to change it every couple of years and people can't get used to what's the product. So, don't know. You're embarrassed about the Bulls who sucked this year. The Bulls did all right last year, though. Aussies are hot on attack. Surely they're going to score here. And they have. Wow. Ben Tune scored the first try? That feels like match. It is Ben Tune. Wow, opens the scoring. How many minutes? Man. Owen Jones was 34. What's with all these penalty-driven finals? I think it's just people not wanting to lose, eh? They get the chance to take the points, take the points, take the points, take the points. Two Cents said, few streams back, no one wants to take any risk playing in finals. I think that's just what it is, isn't it? Oh, the French fullback's injured. Try time, yes, Sam. It happened. It's taking a while with this conversion. Wow, great kick. He can take his time if he's going to kick like that. Man. Gregan was so good in those days. Yeah, he started that try by going blindside for sure. And the French fullback hurt himself trying to stop the try. Pollard leaving hurt the Bulls. I think you're right. Anyone's going to miss a player his caliber. Just ask the Blues. They didn't have a quality 10 for a long, long time. Stormers fans like their hometown boys more than imports from other regions. That's interesting that you guys actually know which ones are from your own region, because with the Blues, I honestly wouldn't know which guys are from Auckland. I know Rico and Akira are from Auckland. The rest of them, I know Bowden's from Taranaki. I don't know the origins of a lot of the guys. Got to go phone on 1%. Charge that phone, man. Take care of that battery. Gregan was the player I hated to admire. I know that feeling for sure. After the 4 more years thing, I couldn't stand him, but he was a good player. French 15 failed to step up. Yeah, he got kind of run over there, didn't he? It's so strange because in the game before, France was so good against the All Blacks, but that's just not apparent in its final. Maybe they played their final the week before. How many teams have been guilty of that? Like, you could argue that England played their final in 2019. They played it against the All Blacks. That must have happened before, huh? Maybe New Zealand over England in 95. Played a really good game the week before, couldn't match the intensity. I love watching Matt Burke back in the day. Horrible commentator, though. It's funny how many of the guys make poor commentators. 96 was the primo year for Super Rugby. Cullen shredding the D. There's been a fair few clips of him on classic matches and whatnot recently, and he was very, very good. What minute of the game? On the YouTube stream, it's at 1 hour and 3 minutes, 15 seconds. France just setting a line out 5 meters out from the Aussie line. They really need to score, and yet they have fluffed their own line out. I feel that throwing in from a penalty, not having rolling mauls from the line out, meant continual 3-pointers. That could be a factor as well. South Africa teams tend to get homegrown guys who get them for the franchise young age. They just tend to bugger off overseas. Well, we've had a fair few of those in New Zealand as well. Final the week before thing is a common thing. Yeah, I'd have to. That might be a topic for a video, to actually look at which teams had a really big win and then went on to lose a final, either an upset or like a big scoreline. I am well, Moonlight. I'm very well. Beer in hand, rugby on, everything's good. No team has beaten the All Blacks in the quarterfinal or semi-final and then gone on to win the World Cup. That's a good stat. I like that. It's almost like a curse. What's up, 2 cents? What's up, unknown junkie? That's quite the username. South Africa, very good and up-and-coming hooker matriculated 2019. His name is Jacques Husson. I haven't heard of him, but I do like it when people give me the inside running on some of these guys to watch. My stream is from a Russian channel with French commentators. What? What? I've never seen anyone similar to Christian Cullen. He would carve through teams, smooth runner, best AB fullback of all time. Wow, we're actually 75 minutes into this game. They must do a lot of the post-match ceremony stuff. Yeah, Cullen was the man. I think I failed to appreciate just how good he was until I went back and watched some of his old clips. Australia did in 1991. Cullen was one of a kind. Yeah, but from what I've seen of some of these games, they mucked him around a bit. John Mitchell dropped him. John Hart played him at 13. Yeah. I've been seeing you Twitch streaming. Can I play you at Rugby 20? I don't have a PlayStation Plus account. I need to sign up for one. I've never played multiplayer Rugby 20. And there's always a big difference between playing the AI and playing a human, but that would be a good game. Bring 2 players to the Blues. Who would it be? Geordie Barrett, Scott Barrett. We need all the Barretts. John Mitchell was a dope. How he got the AB's job seems kind of amazing, doesn't it? Like, he didn't have a lot of experience, to be fair. Jonah, Thalthal, Cullen, all-time back 3. That's a pretty good lineup. The Barrett boys. There you go. He dropped Razor as well. Yeah, Mitchell's a bit of a special case, isn't he? Oh, Burke. Do you think McKenzie will make a comeback to AB's rugby? Without a doubt. Who is the better wing, Lomu or Ben Smith? Ben Smith's a more complete player, that's for sure. But who would you rather try and tackle? At least Ben Smith is just going to eel past you like slither. He always just seems like a slippery eel. Whereas Lomu is going to put you on your ass, if I can say that word. You can't have Geordie. Bro, I want Geordie with that big boot. And I want Scott Barrett. I want all the Barretts. Etzebeth has 85 caps. There's only 28. Man. South Africa just breeds big rugby players, don't they? France, quick tap. Nothing comes of it. Lomu couldn't defend the high ball in this modern game. I agree. Even back in the days, people criticized them for not being able to turn around. Like, if Lomu was playing kick the ball over him, your winger will have a chance to attack him because he takes a long time to turn around to get back up to speed. Criticized, I guess, for not having like good match awareness, whereas Ben Smith, I think, knew his positioning a bit better. Still annoyed they gave up on Ben Smith when he came back. Wasn't at his best. Henson lost it. Yeah, Ben Smith was he was off the boil a bit, but they didn't give him a shot. Peter Steff or Artie, very different players. Thalthal was amazing. Thalthal was that guy where you think surely he can't go around him or he can't beat him for pace. And he looks like he's going full speed. And then he would just go faster. That guy was amazing. A freak in a good way. I'd try to tackle Smith instead of Lomu. You and me both, brother. You and me both. Like, they called Ben Smith, like, I don't know if you know this, his nickname was Ben from Accounts because he looks like if you put him in a suit, he's just like an office worker or a shirt, right? Like, nobody ever called Lomu from Accounts because by no means does he look like an accountant. He looks like a rugby player, even when he's not dressed like a rugby player. Sit closer to the whiteboard. Move the camera towards you a bit. Oh. Okay. I'll move over. Thank you for that. I have to move the computer close to me because I'm getting bad eyes. Can't read all the comments. Especially when it's not even that late. 10:15. Credit to the French, they are not giving up. Like, they're beaten, but they're still fighting. I hope Geordie gets more consistent. I think he will as he gets a bit more experience under his belt. Lombo is a heartbreaking example of why being super big can be bad for your health. That is also true. It's like he burned himself out partially, yeah. I think Lombo only knew how to go forward and everything and nothing else. There's certainly examples of him defending getting made to look pretty silly, but I think in 95, nobody was a complete player. I wouldn't bother to try to tackle Lombo. I'd just wave him through. I think that happened in the semi-final. One of the French guys just kind of gave him a pat on the back, like, nah, they don't pay me enough to do this. Joe Rokithoko was good too. He was. Very good. Injury time already. Yeah, I know. This has been flying through. They edited out any time where the ball went out and they set a line out or when they set a kick. Wow, the cameraman just got taken out on the sideline. How come it's not full time? Do you think Semi Randrandra is a better wing than a centre? That guy's good wherever he plays. On the wing, he does look a touch better. Reed, Zinni, or Buck? Oh, man. Reed, I think, gets a bit underrated, don't you think? Maybe because he spent a lot of time in McCaw's shadow. I know a different position, but because McCaw was such a successful captain. Randrandra is a natural and devastating winger. He does look good when he's on the wing, doesn't he? Carlos Spencer and Dougie Howlett were two of your favourites. I think Doug Howlett went a bit off the boil when he got a bit older, didn't he? Didn't he have some drunken incident in Ireland where he bashed up a car? Again, people do silly things when they're drinking, but I've never bashed up a car. I love it how that Reed, Zinni, or Buck question has got one person saying Reed, one person saying Zinni, one person saying Buck. I thought this game would be over by now, but I think I know the scoreline, and I'm pretty sure Australia got one more score on them. He is underrated. People should check out his stats and history. Best 8 all round. I remember one year in particular, he was absolutely phenomenal. Okay, Australia have scored one last try. Was that Alan Finnegan? That's a great way to finish the game. That's cool. That's a good way to finish. Bit of a hiding in the end, hey? Murray Mexdad. Oh, that guy's commentary career was lively. King Carlos was a favorite blues player. True. Good player, but a complete knob in person. Yeah, didn't you say you went to school with him or something? Finally, game is slowing down. Try at the end anyway. Is one of the Super Rugby final games. One of New Zealand guys broke his arm. Can't remember who. Oh, not sure, man. 2013 captain, most of it, player of the year. Please watch some of those games. Yeah. Didn't they say it was injury time? If it's 48 minutes, why are they still playing? I don't understand. There's no clock, but they said injury time like 10 minutes ago. And the ball's been out. There's been stoppages. There's been a try. I don't understand. Beer time. The wife's gone shopping. Nice. I'm almost finished. There's that score. Yeah, man. Good time to do it. George Gregan's looking pretty happy. 2013 Prime Reed IRB player, undefeated every season. Yeah, I thought he got player of the year. I remember that season. He was magic. Pity to hear about Howlett. Liked him as a player. There's a few guys who people have told me they've met in real life who were not very nice people, but other guys who, like someone said, Bucky's Borta, maybe not the most popular guy on the field, but doing great work off the field. So, yeah, it's hard to judge. Injury time for 10 minutes. Yeah, I know. I don't get it. Injury time, yellow cards that are just a warning. This was like the most like football that rugby has ever been, apparently. You're not supposed to understand rugby, just drink. Game over. Australia are the first team to win the World Cup for the second time. Oh, and the commentators just ripped me off. Just said the same thing. Clock didn't stop. Yeah, kind of like football. So they just kept going and going and going. So it must have been 8 minutes of stoppages. Biggest winning margin in the World Cup. Yeah, that's a bit of a hiding in the end, man. Good point. Bit of a hiding. Beer's still cold. It's got chill to it. I wouldn't say it's cold, but it's still cool. If you were to touch it, you would say that's a bit cold. The French guys are doing a group huddle, which is cool for them. They're getting the trophy ready. There's about a minute to go, people. Joe. Larkham is coaching there, so I put him. He's in this game, so I put that there. Don't worry, I've still got the Leinster gear just over there. John Eels has just hoisted the cup. Good stuff. And that's it. Rugby World Cup 1999. Done. Done. I've met Skalkberger, Skalkbrits, and Cornecria before, all of them great people. That is awesome. I always like to hear it when they're good. Not too far from South Africa, England. The Queen was there, that's true. We're up to 99. 2003 is the next one. Maybe do that in a week or two. Wednesday, we're doing Argentina-Ireland from the 2015 World Cup. That'll be a morning here in New Zealand. It'll be too early for you guys in Australia, I'm sorry, because it's going to be like 5:30 for me, but it should be all right for the people in America and Europe. And really, if you want to get up super early in New Zealand, I'm mostly getting up that early so I can avoid my children. Not avoid them, but I don't want them to, I don't know, to bug me when I'm watching the rugby. What can I say? So, yeah, that should be an interesting one. And then, yeah, I will have to get the 2003 World Cup on at some point. People have suggested a few other games, mostly internationals, the odd Super Rugby game. So we'll get another live stream going at some point as well. So yeah, Australia Samoa 2011. I don't think I could find that one on YouTube from memory. I did have a look for that one. I couldn't see it. So yeah. But anyway, cheers guys. That was a bit of fun. 1999 Rugby World Cup Final. Hadn't seen it before. Have seen it now. A bit of a hiding. A lot of penalties and a good try at the end. So yeah, cheers. I will see you guys. Stuff for that'll be 1:30 a.m. Wednesday. Yeah, it's not going to be the best time for the people in Australia, but for everyone else, it might be all right. Don't get a PS Plus account. I'll email somewhere and send you a voucher so we can play. I should be able to get one, man. Don't worry about that. I don't know how much it costs. $8 or something. Play some multiplayer. But yeah, cheers, boys and girls. And yeah, I'll see you guys all for the next one. Take care, stay safe, and yeah, see you guys.